Welcome everybody. Back to TEW. We're playing some TEW. Rocking it out. I have booked for 2 years now as Andre the Giant. 2 years and a couple of months. We're in March. I've got this whole show set up for us. We'll go through it real quick before we administer everything. But first I'm going to set these chats up. So I've got the McGuire twins working Lawler and Dundee on the post show. We're giving them a 16-minute match. They're not quite in shape for it, but they're only struggling a little bit. A 15-minute match, they wouldn't even be struggling. But, you know, as you guys know, my promotion, one of the most challenging parts about it is going to be match length. And matches under 20 minutes cannot get world-class ratings. So if we want the McGuire twins to have a run with the belts, we want to make sure that they are capable of having a match that long. So I'm letting them work out with Lawler and Dundee on the post show, try to get them going. My main event is going to be the Mongols versus the Fullers in a storytelling style match. Beppo Mongol, also known as Nikolai Volkov, is going to be the winner. After a tainted finish, Ron Fuller is going to be attacked by Killer Khan, and that is going to, help make that bring to the forefront our storyline of the Mongols forming their Mongol empire. We've got managerial conflicts still going on. I don't know. I don't think that that's going to come into play on this show. But we do have Andre dominating Joe Blanchard in another title defense. He's going to cut a quick promo before. We got Billy Graham versus Dusty Rhodes, a 20-minute match. They're going to cut promos on each other before that. Angelo Poffo, I believe this is the opening of the show. Oh, this is the pre-show. So that's the open is we're going to hard cut to an entrance by Graham, a promo, an entrance by Rhodes. He promos from the ramp, and then they get a match going. On the pre-show, Angelo Poffo is going to defeat Ivan Putski. I believe I had it set for him to win. He should be winning regardless. And then we have Jimmy Snuka beating up on Norval Austin. He's going to win that match. Roddy Piper's going to beat Stu Gibson. Should be a pretty good show. Any time now is a possibility for us to rise up and become tiny. Right now our promotion is considered insignificant. We are at 16 popularity, so if we achieve 17 in the Great Lakes, we will become a larger promotion. It does take a while, so 3 to 4 months usually at the same popularity before it goes up is how it's been going, with one match every month or one show every month. I believe maybe I had one in December. I think I might have missed recording it. Accidentally pressed through on that one. I was just editing my playlist, so all of these they should all be available on the YouTube VODs in the correct order with the playlists. It threw me off a bit because some of them were in the subathon, and I had to go back and edit those and all that stuff. But we should be good now, and yeah, let's run this show. Piper wins with a sleeper hold. Stu Gibson doesn't really know how to call in ring. That's all right. He'll figure it out. We got Jimmy Snuka versus Norval Austin. Looks like Norval doesn't know how to call in ring as well. Angelo Poffo defeated Ivan Putski with a front face lock. They have pretty good chemistry. Okay. Yeah, this is a main event level match. Angelo Poffo's always great. Macho Man's dad. Bad idea to have Ivan Putski. Well, he did fine. Dusty struggled when going off script. Billy Graham did a masterful job. Well, we'll get you there, Dusty. We'll get you there. Wow. That's a beautiful performance. That would be a good main event even on my other save. You know what I mean? And I'm in 82 with that other save. I've played 12 years in. I mean, it wouldn't be a great main event, but it'd be pretty damn solid to have a 71 be my main event for like a TV or something. Andre and Bobby Heenan have great chemistry. Andre was terrible with no script. We'll get him there. Andre defeated up Joe Blanchard. He had a 68. Made himself look good. Ended it with an elbow drop. Match was too short for our audience's liking. Yeah, man, if we would have had the 71, that would have been a really nice main event. I probably should have put that as the main event, but it's all right. Ghetto and Beppo had the best performance between the two. The Fullers did all right. They have great chemistry teaming together, but they're not tag team specialists. The Mongols form an Empire storyline has advanced with this segment. Didn't get any more heat, but hey, we advanced it. Match was a little too short for a post-show match. It was 16 minutes. These guys can barely fucking go that. These are fucking 500-pounders we're talking about. They have excellent chemistry teaming together. And yeah, they were getting tired towards the end there. Right. Yeah, they don't know how to call in ring yet, but that's all right. We'll get them there. Match's overall rating was a 53. Pretty darn nice. I think I have to do Dusty. Billy Graham. I think that's going to be who deserved it for sure. Compliment them on a good performance. Let's see. We lost $382. I think we can afford to lose out on a 382 approximately. That should be all right. We're still increasing popularity, but it didn't go up a point. It's so nice being a smaller company and not having the ability to do a press conference, because I always forget to right click and skip the whole thing. And then it just tries to make me do the press conference, and I have to do it. Alright, we're going to be simming a bit. Let's do that. Andre is preparing to turn face. Okay. 13 segments it's been building up. And he's managed by Bobby Heenan. So we'll have to get him another manager. We got Bobby Heenan, Gary Hart, and Frank that are managing folks. Okay, I see. Benny and Billy are coming in under Frank. He's going to try and use them to get after the Giant. Let's see. Figurehead. He has been the figurehead for 246 days, not established in the role. Is currently not a face. Jimmy Snuka, George Steele, and Angelo Poffo are more over right now. So, Angelo's a face, right? We'll have him beat George Steele here coming up, and we'll have him beat Angelo Poffo soon. Angelo Poffo's a heel. Alright, so he'll beat... well, yeah, I should probably just switch him over as soon as possible. We need him to be a face by the time that hits 300 days. 365 days, technically. So we still have a whole 100 days or so, but when you're only holding shows every 28 days or so, you gotta move it along. He's been the champion for 608 days so far, 18 successful defenses under his belt. And then we've got our tag champs, Beppo and Ghetto, the Mongols. They are the second tag champs since the founding of the company. Ron and Robert Fuller are the prior tag team champions. Let's keep it going. We've got our end of the year awards. We already went over all those last episode though, so we'll just move it along. Get to that next show. I might stop it a little bit early. Just to see our profits. Oh. Yeah. Glad to be back doing some TEW. It's been a minute. Couple months. Probably. A month or two. Anyway. And we haven't streamed it in a while. I've been playing a ton on my other save profile, my Roddy Piper save. Making Roddy. What are we? We're a small size company in Canada, and we now own our own broadcaster because the game was getting incredibly. I almost want to say it was getting to the point where it was going to be impossible for me not to have my own broadcaster and still be able to do things. So I actually lost my TV as Roddy got kicked off the network for having a couple of mediocre shows. I think they needed a 65 or a 64 was like their requirement, the network's requirement, and I had like a 63 and like a 62, and they were like, "All right, we're ditching you. You're off the network." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I took a couple of $1 million, I think 2.25 mil, which was very close to all I had. I think I had like 70K in the bank after I founded my own broadcaster with medium coverage over all of Canada and small or very small coverage over all of the US. And now I'm making like $600,000 a month. So we're doing very well for ourselves. We're doing very well. We're in the 70s, I think 71 popularity in my home region, and then most of Canada, other than Ontario, which is at like 60, because it was my second area and the first place I got TV. Most of Canada's in the like low 20s to or like mid 20s to low 30s. I think there's a couple places like the Maritimes is only like the Maritimes is like 24, 25. What is the other one I'm thinking of? Quebec or something is like pretty low. But yeah, we're doing all right in that save for sure. I want to try to get this save more advanced, so we're gonna keep playing for a while today. Probably try to do another 2-hour episode or something like that. But since we're gonna be here for a while, I'm gonna go grab a drink while this loads up, and then I'll be right back with y'all. Whew. All right. We are back. I know I've showed this off before since we have the time. I got my bottle opener right there, but if you ever needed to know how to use a how to use a lighter to open up a bottle rather than a bottle opener if you didn't have one right by you. You want to take the lighter, bump it right up against here. Lighter right up against the cap. Take your finger, put it on the other side, and you want to use the lighter as a lever. Bend that side a little bit. And you might have to move it around the bottle a little bit. But then, yeah, pop right off. Pop off, King. The glass Coke hits different. John Foley, is that Mick's dad? Manchester, England. I don't think so. I don't think that's Mick's dad. Unfortunately not. Or fortunately. I don't know. Maybe he was a dick. Maybe you wouldn't want him to be Mick's dad. I don't know. Oh. There we go. See what we made for the month of March. Right. Rusty Dodes. Dusty Rhodes has changed his body type, going from bulky to average. He's just an average-bodied male. Interesting. Can I talk to him? Better shape. Lose weight. He already just changed. Yeah. Dusty Rhodes is ineligible for... Damn. Okay. Yeah. All right. If I was real serious about it, I'd go in and I'd make a diary alert. Oh, wait. Where am I doing? Do you put those anywhere? Oh, right here. I'd go in here and I'd set a date out for 728 days and have it alert me when he's able to change his body type. But we ain't getting that serious with it. We made $640 last month. Steadily rising. Been a little bit more on workers than we probably should have. But not nearly as much as if we wouldn't have done anything. So what other referees do I have right now? Just Stu and Joe. I think we could probably have Joe Lewis try to manage Andre and see if that works out for us. We still might be a little bit away from getting some commentators. Oh, it would be nice to do that whenever we increase size. But we'll just play it by ear. Alright, who do we need and who do we not need for this show? Don't think we need the Baron. Yeah, we don't need him. We don't need Norval this week. Or this month, I should say. We don't need... We actually don't need the Fullers either. We'll have Snuka stay home. Want Dusty. I might do a run back of Dusty versus Billy Graham. Yeah, we might run Dusty and Billy Graham back. That was a really good match. The McGuires, we'll have them on here. We're going to have both the McGuire boys jump Andre. And this is when he'll turn face. It'll be right after he does a squash match. So he'll squash somebody. Or maybe not squash. Well, no, I want him to be a face when he beats Pafo. And when he wins against George Steele. So we'll have him squash somebody. We'll have the McGuires come out working for Frank. And they're going to beat him down. And I think Joe Louis is the referee. So Joe Louis could have just... He's just there. And Joe Louis makes the save just by punching these big behemoths in the face. Having Joe Louis as your referee really adds some legitimacy, not just because we're in the Great Lakes region either. Like, just in general, like, this man can knock out any of these wrestlers at any given time. The sports page. Why have I not been holding my events here prior? Damn, this is a good little hotbed right here. Yeah, let's do this. Use that venue. Okay. We got some creative energy. Ugh, that's an ugly finish. Bit of a gamble. I'm almost willing to take that. Big gamble. No, thank you. All right. Head trainer Angelo Paffo ran training drills to work on basics and safety for 9 students. Ivan Putski, Beppo Mongol, Roddy Piper, Billy Graham, Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawler, Dusty Rhodes, Benny McGuire, and Billy McGuire. Cool, cool. Angelo's getting the boys trained up. We got an April show here. Let me do some team bonding. I think it's been working out well, if I remember correctly. Joe Blanchard and George Steele don't like each other. More so as a result, new tensions have been created. Everyone else is strengthened. Me and Angelo, me and George, me and Frank and Joe Louis. Yeah, so overall, that's pretty positive situation there. So that's good for us. Now let's see. Alright. Who should we have Andre beat up? Alright, he just beat up Joe Blanchard last time. I think I want to keep Dusty. Alright, let me have him fight a heel. Because that'll make sense even better if he beats up a heel and gets jumped by some more heels. You know what? Actually, I want to check. Is Frank managing anyone else? Oops. Nope, just the McGuire boys. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should have had the Baron get beat down. But we got plenty of heals. There's no shortage of them. I guess there's a small shortage of them. Here, we'll have him fight Putski, actually. Oh, wait. Nope, nope, nope. Misclick. All right, so we got Andre the Giant versus Ivan Putski. He's going to win. Oh, wow, they've already had a few bouts, but some of them are back in 1970, so we're all right. Not going to be too repetitive or anything. We'll have him dominate. Gotta have the belt on the line, of course, of course. Good call. You struggle. Oh, you know what? I also want to have... Yes, Joe Louis is the referee. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't know how to call. That's okay. It'll be fine. All right, so our main goal here... should I have them all as fighting, or is Andre going to be the victim? We do want to get a little sympathy on Andre, but we got to be careful not to expose him as, like, getting his ass beat so much. He's tired from a match. Oops, not Beppo. He's tired from having a match. His old manager sends his new giants out to go and beat him up. Joe Louis is going to make the save. And that's going to be about the first 3 minutes of this. Probably surprise. This is going to turn Andre the Giant. And then let's do a copy of part 1. Joe Louis is fighting, and Andre. So it'll be like the first few minutes they're beating him down. The next 2 minutes, Andre and Joe Louis start working together and they clear the ring. They beat down the Maguires and make them retreat. And maybe we see Frank cutting a promo right at the end as the Maguires are retreating back up, away from the ringside area. We've got Frank V cutting a promo on Andre, like, we're not done here, type of a thing. And he just warns him basically, yeah, like, we're gonna be a persistent problem for you, Andre. We're gonna return. And then this one's not so much a surprise as storyline development. All right, cool. The Mongols are gonna defend the tag belts. Probably right after this. The Mongols will go ahead and defend against Lawler and Dundee. Yes, the Lawler and Dundee lost on the post show last week, but they have got more momentum in the company altogether. Let's see. Can we do a 20-minute match with these guys? Get Beppo over. Nice. Okay. And not at all the least, but it will be going on last. It's going to be Dusty Rhodes versus Billy Graham. Who won the last one? Dusty, I believe. Oh, wow. Okay, so there have been 2 matches. Billy beat Dusty. Dusty beat Billy. This is the rubber match. So that definitely makes sense with it going on last. And we're going to have Dusty win out overall. Let me see my booking analysis. Any matches aimed at storytelling. Okay, so this one is not long enough. This could be a storytelling match. Cool. And we're at the appropriate amount of angles, the appropriate amount of time. Do I want to have any? Let me just start booking the rest of my matches, and we'll see if we end up putting them on the main show or not. I think Roddy versus Stu is definitely maybe a post-show match this week, actually. Or no, I would want it to be pre-show because I don't want Joe Louis to have to referee after the original. He doesn't even have the stamina. Okay. How about this? There we go. So, and then this staff will have Stu. Yeah, we don't want him to have to get beat up and then come right out and referee a match. Okay. Frank and the Maguires are already booked in angles. So we've got Pafo, Steele, and Abdullah. Yeah, I probably could have left some of these dudes back. I think we'll have Butcher versus Blanchard. Butcher wins that on the post show. And then we'll do Pafo versus Steele. Would Pafo be willing to lose to Steele? No. No, he will not. Okay. So why don't I just book this open-ended, let the road agent take care of it. He's going to let Pafo win. Pafo will be upset when I make Andre beat him, but that's just going to be the way the cookie crumbles at this point. Hopefully my whole cookie doesn't crumble, but you take these risks when you dip it in milk, you know what I mean? Yes, do. Okay. So, boom, that's the turn. Okay, everything should be good for this one. Let me check. Just that we don't have any commentators, but they're not necessary for our size. Cool. Roddy defeats Stu with a sleeper hold. In a storytelling match this time. Beppo and Ghetto have great chemistry. The storyline advances and gains heat. Beppo submits Jerry Lawler with a Russian bear hug. Nice. Fence number 19 goes off pretty good. We got subtle hints of a face turn against the Polish power here. Hutsky doesn't know how to call in ring. He'll learn eventually. Frank was absolutely awful, so I probably should have just left him out of it. But I thought he's a decent mouthpiece. I don't know why he does so terribly off script. Andre and Bobby Heenan have great chemistry. I was going to have Bobby turn on Andre. I'm now remembering that as well. I guess it doesn't really matter, though, because even with his promo being an absolute disaster, it only brought down part 2 by 1 point. And overall, it went up 1, so we're good there. Nope. We want to turn Andre face. Success. Beautiful. Billy Graham and Dusty Rhodes have great chemistry, and it showed in their performances. They had a 70 for our main event. Beautiful. Abdullah the Butcher and Gary Hart have good chemistry. Angelo benefited from having his hot new move. And that is the end of the show. Increase in one region. So yeah, I think I'm going to do the same thing because they're doing great. I'm going to mention Dusty, Billy Graham. Praise them for a great performance this time around. Financial report. We lost about the same amount of money. We actually spent less on workers. So that's cool. I thought Abby and Steele were my most expensive guys, so that's interesting. Great Lakes went up, but not quite enough. Not enough to make us size up. Say. All right, and we have 34 days until our next show. I think the Mongols are a faction, but I don't really know if I need to go that explicit with it yet. They don't have a manager. Andre's a face. Heenan is a heel. So I think we have to switch this out for Lewis. And then he's actually going to get involved in the managerial conflict because now he, through helping out and saving Andre decides on his own. He doesn't get turned on by Heenan. He decides on his own. Is he aligned with Andre? Yeah. Andre is going to decide on his own to have Joe Lewis manage him instead. Oh, the Mongols is hotter right now than the managerial. But hey, now that we got Joe Lewis in there, that should help. Heenan's going to be pissed. Bobby Heenan doesn't have any clients now. He's going to start managing the Mongols. Actually, the easier way to do this. Ghetto and Killer Khan. Cool. Joe Blanchard is irritated. Disliking the choice of senior road agent from 71. Who is my senior road agent? Frank. Even though Joe Blanchard is considered the better road agent. Okay. Well, guess I can give him that. Is pleased. He'll probably be a little upset after this. But this guy will be better, so it'll all work out. Plus, Frank, you're the travel organizer. We need you to focus on just organizing all the travel and such. Oh yeah, did anybody new? Oh shoot, Big John Stud. We shortlisted him, but we didn't add him. We don't need another giant right this second. Although, that would be an interesting thing if we brought him in as a heel and we had Bobby Heenan manage him. That might be worth doing. You know what? I'm going to turn off. Okay, it is disabled. Beautiful. So, alright, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't getting a bunch of regens in here. I think this guy's a regen, but whatever. Tony Atlas, we have him shortlisted as well. Sergeant Slaughter is shortlisted. Yeah, this is a regen. Maybe I just turned it off. Rick Martel. Shortlist Martel. Rougeaus. The Rougeaus are here. Or are they both? Probably just Ray Rougeau. Mondo Guerrero. Alright. I need a referee. Referee that can work here to hire with at least 70 refereeing. At least 80 refereeing. Muhammad Ali. Okay, he's way too famous to bother. It's confirmed to be leaving that place. Let me see. At least 85 refereeing. Bobby Bockwinkel, huh? Younger brother of Nick Bockwinkel. Okay. I'd probably want to bring Nick in first, then sign Bobby. But I don't really need to bring Nick in right now. I need a referee. Caps out at 86. Japan. I can't pay for the travel. So, between Lots and Bobby Bockwinkel. Let me just bring Lots in for now. Oh, wait. Hold on. $80? What the fuck, man? All right, yeah. We'll bring in Bobby. Should get interrupted by his contract. Oh. Waldo Von Erich is beginning a new storyline. Cool. Alright, so Big Frank manages the clients. I can't afford that big of a bonus. We'll let Frank be upset for a little bit. It's fine. But we're gonna take Joe Louis. We're gonna stop him from being a referee for now. He's just gonna be Andre's manager. And then Bobby Bockwinkel is not going to be a road agent at the moment. He doesn't have the he doesn't quite have the experience and stuff. I don't think he would be a very good one. We might try it on a post-show match or something, but I don't think he would be a very good one. Paul Leduc. Godbout, Quebec, Canada. What an interesting place. Honey Boy. The boy of honey. Yeah, we got Rick Martel. Quebec City, Quebec. Michael Martel, huh? I've never worked Rick Martel, any of his family members. I have Rick Martel and Tito Santana as the strike force in my other save with Roddy Piper. And actually, they're a faction with a third member that I found to be really good chemistry with Tito. So both of them have either excellent or great chemistry working with Tito as their partner. But Mach and Rick Martel don't have chemistry. They don't have bad chemistry or anything. They just don't have any chemistry as partners. No chemistry, good or bad. But they're looking at possibly getting a run with my trios tag belts pretty soon here. The Von Erichs are on a run. And then I think I'll have the Freebirds pick it up off the Von Erichs through some cheating. And then I'll have the Strike Force take it off of them. I know I talk about the other save profile a lot, but because it's so much further along, we've got TV, we've got 12 years of history and all that stuff. It's just so much more to talk about. We're going to get there. We're going to get there with this save. And we're going to be in a lot better position to grow as well because we're in the Great Lakes, we're in America, we're Andre the Giant, Lots of good stuff going in our favor. The storytelling, or not the storytelling, but the length of matches is the only thing that's going to maybe hold us back with some of our guys. Being like really big, just really big dudes who can't necessarily work 20-minute matches every week. Might be our biggest hill to climb. But I'm probably going to start putting Andre in some longer matches so that we can keep his stamina up. I have trouble keeping Roddy Piper's stamina up, and he's a little guy. So it's going to be especially difficult with Andre. For his figurehead, when you're on Andre's figurehead compatibility sheet or whatever, and it says he's a little bit too injury prone to be the figurehead. Oddly enough, working, and because he was my figurehead, he would work every single show for over 10 years. And Andre never got injured. I've never had Andre get injured. So I don't know what it's talking about saying Andre's injury prone. Like, he, in my other game, has never been injured. Hopefully we'll have that same kind of luck in this game. Especially with the run he's on. We don't want him to get hurt. We don't want us to get hurt. But yeah, that would be I don't know, that's just a really interesting thing that it says he's super injury prone. And I get it because he's so big and like he could fall and get himself hurt, or get drunk and get himself hurt. But yeah, I don't know. I've never had a problem with Andre's injury resistance. He's quite resilient in my experience. So we have our heavyweight title. I do think by the end of this year we'll have a light heavyweight title, or maybe some kind of like middleweight title. We could do lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, and then kind of open up a couple more from there. We need to have some other titles because Andre's not gonna drop it. Spoiler alert: Andre the Giant's gonna go on to have at least like 7 years undefeated. So unless he does get injured, there's going to be no way for him to vacate and lose the title to anybody. Which, I should definitely... I want Dusty to have a run. I want Piper to have a run with a belt. So we should be creating some kind of weight class division. So expect that to be upcoming. If we play for another hour or so, we'll probably end up in June. So we might run some kind of contest for a light heavyweight or a middleweight belt. I'm going to try and work out these storylines that I've got right now. Jerry Lawler, body type. Okay, yeah, we already read that one. Jerry Lawler's getting some deals. Wheeling and dealing out here. Yeah, we're good there. Yeah, we'll go to the next show. So the next show, we're going to start it out. Andre's going to come out with Joe Louis. Hopefully we can make that. I'll probably script that one. And then we can do something with him going against Bobby's boys. But then from there, we pretty much have to do George Steele and Angelo Poffo next. And that'll be Andre's ladder to get to, being the figurehead. Bob Brown. He was my longtime trainer and road agent in my Roddy Piper save. And I had him teaming with somebody. I can't remember the dude's name, but they were a really good jobber tag team. And they both were road agents, so they'd just go out there, do the job, and then they'd go backstage and keep working. All right, what do we got? Sunday night. We're doing okay. We made 470. Wow, okay. Merchandise cost us some more. Would the running costs go up? Oh no, my actual upgrade costs went up. Okay. There must have been an extra week in there. All right, let's check it out. Who do we not need? We don't need Abby this week. We don't need Pafo this week. Uh, hmm. Actually, don't need Billy Graham this week. We'll keep Dusty around. Probably Dusty versus. Well, I don't want Dusty to beat Steele either. Dusty versus Putski, maybe. We don't need Jimmy this week. I've been saying this week. It's always this month, but I'm so used to weekly TVs. I think that'll be good. Where is it? Roll away. 50. No, I'd rather go over here. Man, I got a nice booking skill of 2 right here. Alright, let's do a finish. Not that finish. That one works. Let's do a couple of angles. Not angles, but character ideas. Bobby Bockwinkel. Got a deck of cards lying around. That's pretty cool. You hire a guy, you bring him in. First week there, he's already starting little tournaments up with whatever deck of cards are lying around. Dusty and Frank. Oh boy, yeah. Frank's mad, so he's just gonna start shit with everybody. I should have seen that coming. Everywhere else, though, doing okay. Hmm. Alright. Let me see. Let's do Andre versus the Baron. Or maybe we do Andre versus Steele. Oh, wow. George Steele defeated Pafo. Nice. Yeah, let's do Andre versus Steele. Andre wins. Cheap win. EQ finish. Andre gets attacked. Beppo. Ghetto. And Killer Khan not here. Okay. Guess he's not. Kitty cat. My pretty girls. What you doing, baby? My little kitty. Hi. Come here. Pretty girl. Yep, Killer Khan is working for IWE. Oh, alright. And we'll do storytelling for this. And then we're going to have them run it back and do a rematch at Throwdown 30. We might actually do a cage match because Andre's got all these people that are after him that are trying to break in and do their thing. Last match was Andre and Bobby defeating Abdullah and Gary together. Now he's pissed off at Andre. Let's see. We'll do Dusty versus the Baron. They have history. Dusty defeated him once in 71. Alrighty. That was a real good match too, wasn't it? Oh, pretty damn good. My pretty girls. My pretty kitty. Yes, there is. Yes, there is, my pretty girls. Alright, I don't like that the Maguires are coming in. They already have cooled momentum. They've only won matches. Kind of bullshit. So let's do this. We'll get Benny up to warm, and then we will get Billy. Ooh. Fuck it, we'll try it. Nice. Alright, so Billy and Benny both have warm momentum. A lot of the times, if you bring guys in that can't work in ring, even if you're giving them wins, it'll knock them down to cooled momentum because the fans like don't really buy it. But a good character idea can get them past that, and now that they have warm momentum, it'll probably only go up. We'll see. I mean, that's not a guarantee or anything, but generally that's how it goes. This week will be. We'll explain that the Maguires are busy. They're not gonna go with Frank to attack Andre. One, because Andre's already busy getting hunted down by the Mongols. But also, Benny and Billy are busy dealing with the Fullers. Oh, kitty, kitty. My kitty girl. So cuddly right now, honey. My pretty girls. All right. 20-minute storytelling. Can they do that? Any be a tainted win with interference on Ron Fuller getting distracted by Frank, or not distracted, he'll get attacked by Frank. They'll learn. It'll be alright. Alright, that's 60 minutes right there. Even at 100%, we wouldn't be penalized, but we are going to do an angle with Andre. Character development. But we'll have Keenan. Beppo and Ghetto. So this is where the storylines start to intertwine a little bit, because there's this managerial conflict that's been going on for quite a while. Then the Mongols start to form their empire over here. They're clicking up. You know, you already had the team of Beppo and Ghetto, and then this guy Killer Khan they bring in. And now that Bobby Heenan is scorned by Andre, he's going to go and convince the Mongols that, you know, he can managerially help them out, make sure they don't lose their belts, etc., etc. Whoa, careful, kitty. All right. And actually, yeah, let's make this, put it back to 5 minutes. Script it. Keep it going. Bobby Heenan doesn't want to work scripted. He's unhappy. He's the only one. You know what? Fine. We'll improvise it. Andre's got to get good eventually, right? 65 minutes. We're looking good there. I might fit one more match on the main card. Piper versus Austin Gibson. Yeah, why not? Ow. I'm petting you, kitty. Why you biting me? Getting overstimulated. Settle down, honey. You're okay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do Putski versus Austin on the main card. You know what? Nah. We'll do post show. Yeah, neither of them can call in ring. Ow. Here. Girl now. You be good girl. We don't need to do all that biting stuff. That's for bad girls. Joe Blanchard. Stu Gibson. That's a good match to have on the post show. All right. So, should we have... I guess we should have a Lawler and Dundee versus the Mongols on the pre-show. They just got a tag team title match. Oh, maybe not then. They just got 2 of them, January, April. It is. We'll give them a non-title match where if they win, they get a title shot. Ghetto's gonna win instead. Actually, no, because this all happens right after. I want Heenan to show up with the Mongols for the first time right then. So, who all's left? Roddy Piper. And, yeah, Roddy Piper. Okay. Local. Bring in J.J. Dillon for a one-night deal. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Ultimately, we're just going to have Dundee and Lawler beat him and Piper. All right. That should be a good show. Yeah, Dusty's versus the Baron. Okay. All right. Let me check. Benny and Billy are being used far too much. Is what it is. They're literally in the opening match, so I can't use them any less other than putting them on the post show or the pre-show. You'll get over it. Oh, you know what though? This should be... We'll make this a creative finish. Fuck it. We'll do a bit of a gamble. Because it is kind of a gamble with my audience to have a, you know, have a face get jumped like that. And George is managed by... Gary Hart. So this is getting everybody involved. All the managers are going to be involved in that angle. Other than Frank. But he's busy on the early end of the card there. Bill Dundee and Jerry Lawler have great chemistry teaming together. J.J. Dillon was way off of his game. Yeah, he was the worst performer in that match. Andre was terrible. Joe Louis was terrible. Bobby Heenan even struggled going off script. What a piece of fucking crap. Ghetto Mongol is the only one that improvised well throughout the angle. Luckily, we're in a spot where it doesn't really matter angle-wise. We'll be alright. Benny sustained a grade 2 hamstring contusion That's gonna be unfortunate for him. Quite unfortunate. Robert Fuller is getting heat for a botched move on him, causing the hamstring contusion. Robert Fuller was visibly upset after the match because Benny Maguire almost injured him with a botched move. So everybody's just botching in this match. Careful, girl. Tried to knock the painting over. Doing, girl. Kitty, kitty. All right. So we've got Dusty versus the Baron here. That's a 70. What a fucking great match. Dusty's just awesome, honestly. We need to make him have some kind of run as champ. Not our heavyweight championship, but some kind of run. The Mongols form an empire storyline is advanced. Creative finish was a success. The match was a little too short, but hey, it got interrupted. That's where we can have that kind of plausible deniability there. 64, though. We're not too far behind Dusty, you know what I mean? George Steele was disqualified when, yeah, so basically, Heenan's guys ran in and interrupted the match, causing Gary Hart's guy to lose by DQ, although he was probably already losing to Andre. But yeah, so we saw defense number 20, and now at Throwdown 30, we're going to do Andre versus Steele in a steel cage. So that'll be good. Oof. Bobby Bockwinkel is a staff member, and that is realistic. Okay. Austin, da-da-da. So it didn't look like I saw... There was not really any effect on chemistry as far as Joe Louis and Andre. That's all right. We're going to praise Joe Louis. Praise Dusty Rhodes. Okay, he's got 23 days, can be worked through, so we're going to be fine by the next show. Overall loss. Oh, hey, that's better. We cut out some expenses. And all right, we still haven't leveled up yet, but we're gotta be darn close now. Gotta be real close. Yeah, he shouldn't miss any dates. He'll be working through it. Fuller's upset. Frank is upset. I don't have the money to really make him happy. I'm going to give Fuller a month of paid time off. I'm going to give Ron the same amount. And Frank... well, Frank can just be upset, honestly. It didn't even change anything for Fuller, so. Pafo needs clients. He doesn't really need clients. When his sons debut, when Savage and Lanny Pafo come out, then we'll worry about that. George Steele character ideas kind of expire. Joe Blanchard creative finish. Okay. Well, that'll have to be what it is. Actually, let me see. George Steele could probably use a creative idea. Yeah, why not? It's good. Nice. So now he has very hot momentum going into the cage match. I'm actually going to pre-book it. to give it a little bit of speciality. Oh, is it? Yeah, Cage Classic. Here we go. Andre's gonna win with the belt on the line. Go ahead and sim to the end of the month. I wish there was a little bit more options for like interference than just gets attacked by or gets distracted by. Like I feel like there's room for like there to be something where like, oh, the manager throws powder or the manager I mean, it's all just like the rest of this game, like it's all in your head anyway. Everything that really happens is like just your thoughts. So it could work out either way. Like even if it says is attacked by, like you can justify that as like, okay, he throws powder in his face, or is distracted by could just be he means he distracted the referee. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be all that crazy, but I don't know. I wish there was just a little bit more nuance of like how that distraction goes or how that interaction happens, kind of a thing. Stephen Appleseed, a high flyer trained at the Hart Family Dungeon, turned pro in March of 1970. I really wish it would let you pick who gets regenerated too. If it's like guys that I have no idea who they are, I guess I don't really care if they get regened. Or if it's guys who are super important and like you'd want them to be regened, that's like another thing. Or not even super important, but just have like really good skills, I guess. I don't know. I wish it would let you select a couple more things. This game's pretty sweet though. I complain about it, but I've been playing different versions of this game for like at least 12 years, because I believe the first one I had TEW 2010 as well, before 2013 came out. So it's been at least 14 years that I've been playing different games, different TEW games. It's crazy to think about that. More than probably about half of my life now I've played TEW games. The longer it goes on, the more TEW I've spent more time, not more time, but more years of my life that I have played TEW than years of my life that I have not played TEW. There's always something he could do better though. In my opinion. And I don't even mean just visually. Like obviously there's things with the user interface that could use some work. But just gameplay wise. Little tweaks and mechanics and stuff like that. Like I'm happy that the press scrum exists, because it matches, well, up until recently WWE was doing them, but what AEW is doing in real life. So it's a cool little thing to add. But I wish it was either like era based or was just a setting where you could just say always skip the press scrum, and that would be a checkbox that you could make, and then it just always skips it. Because I don't right click any of those things. I click through them all, read them, and then I instinctively left click the press scrum, and it's like, oh, once you've left clicked it, you cannot possibly ever skip a question or skip the whole thing. Like Triple H skips questions all the time. The hell? Why can't we skip a question? Just fucking kayfabe all the answers, dude. Oh, so and so had an off night tonight. How do you feel about that? Well, he lost the match. You know, that fucking sucks for him. He sucks. Sucks to suck. So and so's injured. You know, well, fucking injuries happen. We're fighting out here. He probably shouldn't have let the press know that he's injured, because now his opponents know, and they're going to exploit that type of thing. Lonnie Main, Fairfax, California. Moondog Lonnie. Oh, shit. Must be one of the OG Moondogs. Kiko Tora is known for very bloody bouts with Nano Nano, on both sides of the border. Much more successful in Mexico without any championship victories. Ooh, yeah. Alright. Sonny King body type. He's gone from toned to muscular. Works for AWA and BTW. Quite the... Oh, wow. Usually a heel or face. Protege of the Sheik. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, we might want to bring him in. Wait a little bit on it. Baron von Raschke, fully fit after training his triceps. Benny Maguire is fully fit. Well, he's not fit. He's uninjured, but he still weighs, you know, however many 100 pounds. Half a thousand or so. Austin Idol, Big John Studd. I don't see anyone new right yet. Alright. Well, let's see. Yeah, let's get to Throwdown. I think after we have Heenan, the Mongols lose the belts, that's when Heenan's going to bring in Big John Studd and have Giant versus Giant with Andre and Studd. I like a lot how I've been doing it with all the managers getting so heavily involved. Might seem a little foreign from like today's wrestling, where the managers aren't even there except for like Paul Heyman once in a while. But they used to be a lot bigger of a deal, you know. A lot of guys would have managers. He's still got the time off, right? Alright, cool. Tag team championship has not been defended in 63 days. Okay. Mongols defeated the Fullers. Okay, yeah. So it's only been one. Yeah, one show was missed. All right, that's fair. Mm. Don't think we need Billy Graham. We need George Steele for sure. Hutsky. Keep Snuka. Khan's actually here this time. We won't need Norval Austin. Might as well have Joe Blanchard. Do we need Pafo? No, we don't need Pafo. Bobby Bachwinkle pulled a classic rib on Dusty Rhodes that had everyone laughing. Nice. Joe Louis came to you with ideas for enhancing his character. A pair of Billy McGuire and Benny McGuire has been hanging out recently? Oh shit, that's so surprising. The two fucking fattest twins in the world are hanging out eating fucking muffins in the back? That's crazy. Who would have guessed? Alright. We're gonna do an Inspire at this one. Why not? We're at number 30. You know, it's a nice even. If we were doing Roman numerals, it'd be throwdown XXX. And that would be kind of confusing because people would be like, oh shit, it's a triple X throwdown. Like, fucking, you know. Sir Mix-a-Lot talks about, and it wouldn't be that, though. It wouldn't be that. So that'd be confusing for people. But in any event, it's a, you know, an even 10, and I think that we should throw a good show on those whenever possible. Yeah, the Fullers are timed off. Poffo, Billy Graham, Norval Austin. Where's the pre-booking? Here we go. Add to the booking sheet. Beautiful. See, I kind of want to have something where it's like, oh, you know, from outside of the cage, Gary Hart tries to sneak steal a spike or something, but then Joe Louis comes and beats him up. But, you know, there's not really anything to do that with, which is fine. Let's see. The Mongols are here. They're going to defend the belts. They've beaten Lawler and Dundee. They haven't beaten Baron and Blanchard. I forgot that was even a tag team I was running. But they have defeated the Fullers and they have defeated Lawler and Dundee. So why don't we do Maguires versus Mongols? And we'll do story. Well, Yeah, that's fine. We'll do a storytelling, even though they're not all, face heel appropriate. Been 4 defenses in 210 days. I don't think they win here. I think we'll have Beppo in and have some interference. Ooh, wait, let's see. Maybe even botched interference where Benny gets hit by Frank. Right, Abby versus Dusty. Dusty defeated Abby last time. We're going to have Abby win this one. Be storytelling as well. Open match. Tainted win. Dusty to be distracted by Gary Hart. Dusty's unhappy. We'll keep him strong. Don't worry. Don't be happy. All right. So I think George Steele is also Gary Hart's guy. I'm not wrong that Abby is Gary Hart's guy, right? Right. So I think we'll have it open up with the Butcher doing his intimidation, Andre doing his intimidation, Hart, promo, Lewis cutting a promo for Andre. So yeah, we'll have Andre and Abby do a stare down. Their managers cut promos. That'll be how we open up the show. Then, yeah, not Abby. Deal. There we go. All right. Oh, hi, Kitty. Dang, that was quick. Moving with the quickness today, huh, Liland? Right here. Pretty girl. Got Joe Blanchard and the Baron versus Bill Dundee and the Jerry. Ooh. Mr. the King Lawler. Jerry win. That's going to be our post show. And on the opening, we've got Putski. Putski's going to Piper. Open match. Painted win. Heel's got to cheat. Heel's going to heal. Come here, big girls. Yeah, my pretty girl. My pretty girl. We got Snuka versus Killer Khan, or I could do Snuka versus Stu. I'd probably have Khan do it better. See? I think Snuka wins this one. We'll leave it blank though. He's already... Well, he's not helping the Mongols cheat as much as letting Frank fuck it up for himself. So maybe we do have Killer Khan go over. Painted interference from Mr. Heenan. Where'd he go? There he is. Lots of managerial interference going on. But that's okay. Come here, girly. Come here, pretty girls. Oh, I know. I know you want all the attentions. Okay. Yeah, is this okay? Alright. I think that's gonna be everything. Benny, Billy, slightly overused on this show. They're in a tag team title match. At least now it's only slightly overused. Yeah, that should be fine. Killer Khan would be better off without Bobby Heenan. They don't work well together. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I get that. I hear you, pal. Ivan Putski defeats Piper with a handful of tights. My pretty girls. Oof. Oof. My pretty girl. Managerial conflict has advanced and gained heat. Gary Hart was really good, working the crowd, freedom to improvise. What up? Oh yes, Kojima approved. No AI in this situation here. We're not using the auto booker. Hex nah. We got Abdullah the Butcher and Dusty. Managerial conflict advances. Abby and Gary Hart. I guess they're not they might not be aligned in the storyline. That's okay. This one advanced it but lost heat. For the Mongol Empire. Beppo pinned Benny using the ropes for leverage. During the match, Frank accidentally hit Benny, and that's when Beppo uses the ropes for leverage. Beautiful. I even like to think that Nikolai is covering uh, you know, covering the 700-pounder over here. And he's got his feet on the ropes for leverage, and Bobby Heenan grabs on top of him just for extra leverage there. Billy Maguire. Oh yeah, they can't call in ring. They'll learn someday. Boom, 75. That might have been the best match in the history of our promotion. We haven't had a whole lot of steel cage matches, but Andre wins with a double underhook suplex and a creative finish that was a success. Good stuff. A little too short. Well, it was a post-show match. I guess I could have made it longer, but it should be fine. They'll get over it. Overall rating of a 68 increased our popularity. I'm going to give this one to Georgie. And Frank is upset, so we're going to give Frank a compliment. He played his role well tonight, and hopefully that will offset some of his upsettedness, at least temporarily. $500 loss. And we increased in our size. Beautiful. Pretty girl. What are you doing, pretty girl? What are you doing? What are you doing? Rise to tiny size. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. The Baron is pissed. He needs momentum. Killer Khan is pretty good in the ring. You should push him. Okay. So, I think the next defense we see for the Mongols they're not going to have a next defense. They're probably going to lose these straps the next time out. Maybe to Lawler and Dundee. I don't really want to have the Fullers have a second reign yet, so they'll probably lose it to Lawler and Dundee. And that's going to cause Heenan, cause some heat. Maybe Heenan jumps in and accidentally hits one of them, same way that, Heenan is with, Frank is with so the same way that Frank hit one of the Maguires, probably going to have Heenan accidentally hit Ghetto Mongol, let him get pinned, and have them drop the belts. They're going to dump Heenan because they don't need him. And then we will have Heenan bring in Big John Studd to try and challenge Andre, who is still needing to beat George Steele maybe one more time, and then Angelo Poffo, which we don't have that many days left. It's actually going to hit 365 before we have another show. So, 27 days, yeah. So, alright. Lacking in star quality. Oh wait, that's Abby. That's Abby. Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, it is what it is. Maybe we just have him beat Pafo next. We'll probably just have him beat Pafo next. We need 16 active wrestlers. We have 19, so we're safe. And we actually have 21 once the Fullers come back. Okay. Joe Lewis character idea is about to expire. Likely to succeed. Let's see. Let's use that character idea then. Ba-boom. Alright. I'm gonna pre-book a couple things. So we'll do Angelo versus Andre. Andre's got to win that. Heavyweight belt on the line. And then we're going to book tag match with the Mongols versus Lawler and Dundee. Where Lawler gets the pin after Ghetto gets hit. Storytelling. Open match with a botched interference by Bobby Heenan. Cool. And that'll be for the tag straps. So they will switch that up. And then I actually kind of want to start this is 185. That should probably be like 285. At least 235. And then how big is Dusty? Dusty's 275. So okay, yeah, we wouldn't want to have a heavyweight title that Dusty couldn't qualify for. But if the minimum is 235, what if we did a light heavyweight title where it was 185 to the 285, maybe. Could do that. I feel like that's reasonable. I don't want to debut it next time, but we'll probably set up for it. So like maybe be like a small tournament. Who would fit in there though? Hoffa would. The Baron. Yeah, there's 745 and 723. So Billy's not that big. He weighs less than his brother, you know, that's something. So Beppo wouldn't even qualify for the light heavyweight. That's fair. Bill Dundee would be in there. So would Billy Graham. Okay, yeah. I feel like that's a fair one. Who's 175? Bobby Bachwinkle. Okay, fair enough. Gary Hart, George Steele would qualify. Ghetto, Ivan Putski, Jerry Lawler would be in there. Jimmy Snuka would be in there. Blanchard, Lewis. Khan would be over for that one. Norville would be in there. Fuller would be in there. Piper would be in there. Stu Gibson, Ron Fuller. Alright, so most of the roster would qualify. I'm gonna see what we'll do with that, but that should probably be good for now. Yeah, we're 17 now. That's pretty sweet. Let's see. Maybe that will result in me getting some more sponsorship money. Usually a decent jump. Let's run it to the end of the month. And I'll probably end it there. We'll play some more later on. I'm trying not to hopefully we won't have a whole 2-month gap where we don't play any TEW. We're probably gonna play some more later on, maybe next week. Because I do want to get this this database, or this save profile moving. I do want to move this along. I mean, we are moving along pretty good. We're in 72, about halfway through. But we could be even, if I was really, paying attention to it like I should be, we'd be in like 75 by now. So we'll try to get that going and moving along a little bit quicker. I did a new thing in the chat with the chat box so that it no longer shows the Pokemon community updates. I feel like that's a good improvement because those come through a lot. But now we don't have to worry about them showing up on the screen. They'll just be in the chat for those who want to play Pokemon. And those that don't won't have to really worry about it at all. But everyone else that's chatting can still be displayed. We got that going on for us. Trying to do some more chat improvements in the chat. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to hit you up, Con, about some of the stuff you got, like the shout outs and stuff. Those are really cool. And I want to try and set that up for my own chat. Or something like that, where it shouts people out, or maybe automatically. Yeah, I like the way yours works. But yeah, I need to get some other stuff set up for the chat too. Discord and all that stuff. It looks weird. I don't know, confusing when I see people doing it. I don't understand if I have to go through Streamlabs or what. But we're working on it, man. We're gonna be a Twitch streamer, god damn it. We're gonna figure this shit out. One way or the other. See what kind of profits we got. I think we did a pretty darn good show, if I do say so myself. We're a tiny sized company now, for whatever that's worth. And yeah, that was a good match. Actually, yeah, I do want to check too and see if that was our best match so far. We're throwing matches that, I mean, they beat out some of the matches I'm having in my save that's 10 years past this. I try to have 80s every week for TV, but it just doesn't always work out. I can't make it happen every single time without just repetitively having Macho Man and Lanny Poffo just defend the tag belts as the main event. That's just my best main event. Anytime that they're defending the tag belts in the main event, that's the way to farm it. But I don't want to just continuously have them defending the tag belts every single week on TV in order to make it work. But I'm not super worried about that save. We're doing okay. The main thing is just getting guys over, more so than making sure we are improving popularity in every single region. Because now we have all of the US and all of Canada that's in our broadcast area. So I'm bringing all those scores up to match the 70s that I've got and the 60 that I've got in Ontario. So that's going to take a long time anyway before it really matters. But yeah, Ric Flair's on a hell of a run right now. Ric Flair has formed the Horsemen, and he's just the Horsemen are bringing forth the apocalypse. The 4 Horsemen are doing their thing. ravaging the roster. Arn and um, Arn and Ole have the tag belts. Tully has had the TV title. He just lost it. And then Flair has the world title. So it was like the Horsemen had everything all the way down. Except for the trios belts, which the same night that Flair won, or no, not the same night Flair won. The same night Ole and Arn won the tag belts was the same night that Kerry, Kevin, and David Von Erich won the trios titles off of the Midnight Express. So they've been doing pretty good, but they were the only faces to hold those to hold any titles during the reign of the Horsemen. The Briscoe boys are about to take the tag titles off of Arn and Ole here in the next couple weeks, maybe a month. And then the TV title just got won by Bret Hart off of Tully. What did I say? Yeah. Bret just beat Tully for the TV belt, and then the Briscoes are going to beat Arn and Ole for the tag belts. So Flair's empire is starting to crumble, but he's still going to hold on to that world title for a while. He's got some tricks up his sleeve, so. Oh, hey, there we go. We'll have half a year processing. We'll review it a little bit real quickly, and then we'll start the next one with like a more thorough review. But Wahoo McDaniel is in the lead for Wrestler of the Year. Company is Dale Martin. Female Tag Team of the Year is looking like it's gonna be Rita Boucher. I think it's Boucher. And Penny Banner. Male Tag Team of the Year is looking like Anarchy Rules, Dean Ho and Nelson Royal. That was definitely one that was made since the beginning of the database here. Oops. Match of the year so far, Big Time Wrestling. Killer Carl Cox defeated the Spoiler. 6 months in, Show of the Year belongs to the AWA and Vern Gagne. Young female wrestler looks like Vivian Vachon. Male young wrestler looks like Leo Burke so far. Maybe we'll shortlist Leo Burke. Female veteran wrestler goes to Judy Glover. Luther Lindsay is the male veteran wrestler. Female wrestler of the year so far, Tony Rose. Male independent wrestler of the year so far is Rayo de Jalisco. And yeah, that's all of our half-year stuff. Bob Orton is gone from Jim Crockett. And the Fullers are back. Back in action. All right. We made $490, so pretty solid. Continuing in on our trend. Yeah, that's the most we've spent on workers in a while. That was without PAFO. Let's see. Franchise players. Next big thing is Billy McGuire. Wow, okay. Interesting. Hot prospects, Billy and Benny. Jimmy, Bill Dundee, Norval Austin, Keenan, Pafo, Dusty, Graham, and Gary Hart are my talk to talk. Pafo's a showstopper, so is Dusty, Baron Von Raschke, Billy Graham, and George Steele. For our generals, we've got Baron, Angelo, Dusty, Billy, and Fuller. There's some hot dudes. There's some not dudes. Baron needs to be booked for a win. Hopefully I can remember that whenever we play again soon. That'll give me incentive to make it sooner rather than later. We could bring Victor the Wrestling Bear in, or Big Bad John, JJ Dillon, Don Morocco. Short list Don Morocco. All right. That's going to be it for today, though. Or, well, that'll be it for our TEW session. I might play another game here in an hour or so. Might be streaming some different stuff. But that'll do it for our 1972 wrestling booking as Andre the Giant. Peace out. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, all the good stuff that helps the channel grow. I appreciate